So since this NXT Takeover 36 is being looked at as the final NXT Takeover before Vince McMahon fully takes control of NXT and NXT goes back to, the basics like new lighting, new everything. I have decided to call this NXT Takeover 36 predictions the end of an era. So, don't over exaggerate it, but it's just being called the end of an era. Just it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's NXT is NXT. But when we look at this card for NXT Takeover 36, I think NXT Takeover 36 is shaping up to be one of the best NXT takeovers of this year. And then, no matter what your stance is on NXT, no matter if you like it or hate it, NXT Takeover is stacked. Like NXT Takeover pay-per-views are just so really cool and so fun to check out. And this takeover alone, I mean, you look at it, it's fun to see. So anyway, we have 5 matches on the card. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight to it. The first match I want to talk about will be for the $1 Million Championship. And if Cameron Grimes loses, then Ted DiBiase must become LA Knight's butler. So it's LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes. I've said it before, man. These two men have had such a really underrated feud in NXT. I feel like that it hasn't really been getting talked about a lot. It's really entertaining. LA Knight is great. Cameron Grimes is great. This whole thing with the $1 Million title has just been really good. So I'm actually going to go with Cameron Grimes to picking up the win. I think this should be a pretty good matchup, but in the end, Cameron Grimes will get the W. Next, we have a 2 out of 3 falls match. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole 3. They had their first match was at NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver Night 2. Kyle O'Reilly won that. They had their second match on the Great American Bash. Adam Cole won that. So now this is the third and final. I think this is being called the Undisputed Finale. And it's going to be in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Surprisingly, it's the same. It's the same as when Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H had their match back at the No Way Out 2001 pay-per-view. The first fall is a traditional wrestling match. Second fall is a street fight, and if necessary, the third fall will be a steel cage match. So I'm going to go with O'Reilly to win the first one. I think Cole is going to win the second one. And I think O'Reilly will win the third fall. So I am picking Kyle O'Reilly to win this match. This will be the end of the Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole feud. Obviously, Adam Cole's contract is reportedly expiring afterwards. So who knows what could happen. Adam Cole might end up leaving WWE after, or he might just go up to the main roster. We're going to have to wait and see. But as far as this match goes, I'm going to go with Kyle O'Reilly picking up the win here. So, yeah. Next, we have the match for the NXT Women's Championship. Raquel Gonzalez defending her title against Dakota Kai. Now, granted, this is good because this is where you take the title off from Raquel. She'll probably go to the main roster, but I feel like the roles should be a little reversed here. They're making it seem like Raquel is the babyface and Dakota is the heel, when in reality, Dakota should be the babyface because, she's been being kicked down her whole life, being bullied and picked apart her whole life. She should come out looking like the babyface rather than Raquel look like the monster heel that we've been seeing for the past few months. So, not really a huge fan of how they're doing that, but either way, I'm going with Dakota Kai to pick up the win there. This should be a pretty good match, to say the least. Dakota Kai gets the win. She finally gets her moment. She finally proves her haters wrong, and she walks out the new NXT Women's Champion. As far as Raquel, probably go to the main roster. Like I feel like she'll probably go to the main roster after SummerSlam, most likely, because what else is there for her to really do in NXT? And now we get to the NXT United Kingdom Championship between Walter versus, sorry if I mispronounced his name, versus Ilja Dragunov. These two had just an insane match back on NXT UK TV. If you haven't checked that out, man, go check it out on the network. That match was just absolutely physical, insane. Like, I'm not gonna get into it, but if you haven't, go back and watch that match, because I'm telling you, you're gonna get a little pain in your chest, you know, because the way they were slapping each other, just like, my goodness, you know, like, insane. But this is the rematch. I'm gonna go with Dragunov for the win here. Walter's had a just dominant reign. He's been champion forever. So, and I think that this would be the good story, the great, you know, climactic story of Dragunov, how he lost Walter at first, but he, you know, built himself back up. And I think this is a good story for Dragunov to win. So, it's going to be an amazing match. Show stealer, match of the night, probably. Dragunov for the win. And then, in our main event, we have the NXT Championship being defended, Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe. Karrion Kross has been, he's been pretty good on NXT. You know, I stated before that he's one of the main guys that really stands out in NXT. Samoa Joe just came back. I'm going to go with Samoa Joe, obviously. You know, Karrion Kross, I mean, it's obvious. The man's main roster bound. Like, all he needs to do is drop the NXT title, and then he's officially part of the main roster. Now, I don't know what Scarlett's going to do, because, you know, they might bring Scarlett up. Well, they are, but, you know, are they going to bring her up with Kross when he officially goes up, or is Kross still going to go up there like he's been doing these past few weeks by himself? Is Scarlett going to be wrestling soon? So I don't know what they're going to do with Scarlett after TakeOver, but I know with Kross, he's immediately going to the main roster. Joe's probably going to enter a feud with Pete Dunne. And yeah, so guys, that has been my NXT TakeOver 36 predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. This has been the Kid DC Wrestling. And so, yeah.